I'm glad that my soul and spirit reminded me of this. This was very important. I could not forget this, and I didn't put it in the video. And the ones that I did, where I talked about Lady Chatterley, who was a woman who married into a guy who was quite wealthy, but he was in a wheelchair. So you can imagine if he went off to war, he suffered trauma. And because of his injuries, he couldn't walk around and probably make love to her in a full body suit that another guy could do, right? Because he's been injured, he's been traumatized. So you know right from the get go that what he needs is to heal from all that trauma, both spiritually with his soul, right? Both emotionally, mentally, and physically, which means all his energies. So this would be somebody who needs an enormous amount of love. Okay, so that would be if she was as Lady Chatterley, giving him all her love and passion because of what happened to him because he went off to war and suffered trauma. And yet, on the other side of that, he's not able to love her as a result of that trauma because of the amount of electrical resistance that he has as a result of that trauma. And the difference between the two is she didn't suffer all that trauma, but he did. So she runs into a man who did not go off to war, who was a full man physically, who was obviously in physical shape because he was working in the area as a laborer, busting his ass, shoveling coal into stoves, otherwise known as the serf class, the worker class, see? And she's of the elite class, and yet she's deeply in love with this man, and they become lovers. Passionate lovers in spirit. So what about her husband? The man who went off to war. He's been abandoned, hasn't he? How is he going to heal if her love is going elsewhere? Does she not deserve the love that she has in her heart she wants to share with such passion? To be with a man to experience the passion and the love that he has out of his own heart and soul that they share together with both their hearts and soul and spirit? What about the man who's married of substance and wealth? Does he not deserve the same love and compassion in order to heal his soul and his spirit and his energy from the trauma that he went through, regardless from whence he came? That's being one with all creation of everything we give love to. We care about all of you, all creation, anyone who suffered trauma as a result of a war. You can't have love and war at the same exact magnetic moment. Remember in the 60s, make love, not war. Be what love is, not war. Be what peace is, not war. Be in harmony. Be in rhythm with the waves that are in harmony. Grab the engine of the first musician, the primal sound field. Feel the love in our hearts that we have for all of you. And we shall all be free to experience what love is that goes on forever